Sometimes you just need a road trip adventure that doesn't require a hotel overnight. Today, we're discussing our jaunt from Nashville, Tennessee to Decatur, Alabama.
I'm Lainey. And I'm Laura Beth. And we are Steel Magnolias. The strength of steel with the grace of a magnolia. We are here to have uplifting conversations about life in the South. And we've got plenty of room at our table. So pull up a chair. Welcome back to the table. We have fulfilled Sis's love tank and been on a road trip. That's how she gets her lifeline, her life. What do you call that? Lifeblood, or?
I guess so. Yeah, I do love to jump in the car, jump on a plane, jump on a train, jump on a boat.
That's right. So why Decatur?
Well, I had heard from a friend who has 2 grandchildren that she loves to take on little adventures that Decatur had a great museum of science. And so I thought, well, let's take Jacob. He's all into bugs and critters, and this might be a fun little thing to do on a Saturday.
Boy, did he love it. We'll get into specifics. So yeah, that's what was taking us there.
That's why Decatur.
And we knew we would spend the majority of our time there because we were just going for the day.
Right. No spending the night.
90 miles south of Nashville, or Franklin, really. It really was straight shot. 65 south is so easy for us to travel on, and we did. We got there in an hour and a half.
Yeah, so it's not the most gorgeous scenery drive or anything like that. You do, if you're coming from Nashville, pass Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Good point.
So I do want to say that we didn't stop because we've made that trip several times before. But Lynchburg is so worth a stop. That is famous for being the home of the Jack Daniel's distillery.
Yes.
And Mary Bobo's wonderful boarding house restaurant.
Yes.
But their square has lots of cute shops, many of which carry different Jack Daniel's products and, mementos. So if you've never been to Lynchburg,
even if you're not a whiskey drinker, I would say it's an enjoyable place to see.
It really is.
Just the small town that such a global product comes out of.
Yeah.
It's really mind-blowing.
It really is. Yeah. So we didn't make that stop, but it is worth a stop. And then we motored on down and pulled into, did you know Decatur's called the River City? I'm sure there's many cities called that, but.
Now, before we even got to Decatur, we did see billboard after billboard after billboard with a certain beaver on it. If you know, you know. I'm talking about Buc-ee's. So there was a Buc-ee's that was just going to be right on the path. We were like, we don't have a need to stop right now, but we are absolutely doing that on the way back.
Because Lainey had never been to a Buc-ee's.
I've only been to one.
That was the first time experience, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. So yes, we got to Decatur, and I thought it was interesting. I saw that Decatur has actually recently been voted one of the most affordable housing destinations in the nation.
Really?
So if you're looking to move to the South, don't move to Franklin. We're full. I'm just kidding. Only a little bit. But Decatur,
you could probably
Alabama, you're going to get way more bang for your buck down there, apparently.
Especially if you get a job at the Athens Buc-ee's. But we'll get to that. We'll talk about that later. Yes, Decatur is on the banks of Wheeler Lake along the Tennessee River. So they call it the River City. But you do see a lot of water as you're driving through there.
Which makes everything more pretty.
And even though some of it's mucky water, there's people out there fishing, and I just love seeing that.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then most of the buildings, I would say, you had cute neighborhoods and not so cute neighborhoods, as with every town and city. And we did see that kind of the 2nd Avenue area was kind of the hub of the early 1900s buildings that looked like it had been the main
they don't
old
have
town.
I don't think I saw a main street but 2nd Avenue would be what I would call Main Street.
Yeah.
You know.
With lots of cute little boutique shops and
the Princess Theater was their historic theater.
That and it has the iconic sign and
great marquee for sure. Yeah.
I love seeing all that. And then I also love in a smaller town when you see places like Hairway to Heaven. It's the name of a salon Laura Beth noticed.
I kind of wanted to go in.
I love places like that.
We could have just if we had our mobile microphones, we could have just set up in there probably and had some
our own Steel Magnolias
interviews. Yes.
Episode.
Yes. Yeah. So then we were like, okay, lunch before the museum. So you already knew when in Decatur, if we're going to be hitting up a meal.
Big Bob Gibson is a barbecue place. They have 2 locations, and they're both in Decatur.
We saw both of them.
Yeah. One was even more hopping than the other, but both were doing well.
Yes.
It is all barbecue. I mean, it's what you would expect with the different meats and sides. They're kind of known for their barbecue chicken with white sauce.
Yes.
You can also buy rubs and sauces there. But
when we did our Southern sauces episode many, many episodes back, I'll have to look up what episode or what season number that was. We did mention them because their white sauce.
And we gave away some of their sauces, which was pretty fun too. But their white sauce actually was more vinegary than I remembered because it kind of took my breath away. I mean, it's fine. I just wasn't expecting it. And so
it's helpful to know.
It is
right?
vinegary.
It's going to hit you.
Be aware.
Have your sweet tea ready. And boy, was it sweet. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Y'all.
I
had to kind of.
Never had to mix unsweet with sweet.
It was full on.
Get ready.
It was full on. But we really liked their chicken, their turkey. Yes. Their smoked turkey was really good.
Yes.
And their baked beans.
Those baked beans, though, I could have had a double portion of those for sure.
We tried the red skin potato salad, which was excellent.
Delicious, yes.
So that's where we did our lunch. They are a prior winner of Memphis in May and have had quite a bit of hoopla around them. So that was a good lunch choice.
Good barbecue, for sure. And it was so easy to get around. I mean, we're just zipping. You know, it's a small town, but I think we saw everything, right?
I think so.
It seemed like it. But so then we went to the Cook Natural Science Museum and easy to get into. I mean, I cannot say enough about the accessibility of this museum. And I mean, it felt very grandparent friendly. So I have my mind on that.
We saw strollers. We saw handicap. We saw kids running around. Everybody seemed safe and fine.
Yes, everything is on the first floor too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's one part where if you wanting to join your kiddo that has climbed up a tree, then you can take an elevator. I saw an elevator had access to that.
But that's really the only upstairs section was that cozy cabin part, right?
Okay. Yes. So very affordable. Tickets were $15 and up, according to age, 2 and under, free.
Yeah. Some senior and military discount, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had live animals, baby alligators, turtles, snakes, jellyfish. Yes. I loved seeing the jellyfish.
I thought this was pretty impressive. And they have things really divided by kind of, I thought it seemed like they were kind of divided by where they live. Caves or rivers and streams.
Yes.
The Arctic.
Yes.
The forest.
Yes.
Ocean, different things. So you're kind of that's how they divide things. There was even a whole section on space. I don't know, maybe that was in the an exhibit. I'm not sure, but that was really cool too.
Yeah, they called it Looking Up, and it gave you all sorts of perspectives on space and our proximity to other planets and the sun. And I would say of the material presented, that was over Jacob, my 5-year-old's head.
Yeah. But I was enjoying some of it because it was showing how precipitation affects the earth and how things grow season to season.
Yeah.
But
everything was
the
interactive
section that
though.
It was a little over him.
Yeah. But he could still push the buttons and enjoy.
And didn't you think there was a lot of that, of interaction?
Yes.
Yeah, he liked the part where he could open the earth and see the different layers
all the
of
core
it
layers
down into the core. And,
that was cool.
Yeah, this was pretty cool.
I had fun climbing into a little beaver, what do you call that? Like a little hut,
it's
a
like
beaver hut.
Little, in addition to building dams, I guess they build these little dome homes.
Yeah.
So you can get down in one of those.
Yeah. They had in the forest area, there's a tree you can actually climb up through the inside of. And at first my son didn't want to do it. And I was like, no, we're going to pretend like we're squirrels. Because I had read that there's a squirrel's nest at the top.
Okay.
That you know, and so we had to go across this rope bridge to get to it. Now I'm saying things that sound like it was maybe really big. This was a very small sort of like, I'm talking a very quick climb up two small flights of stairs and a very short rope bridge. We've done things like go to the City Museum in St. Louis that you climb, you lose your kid, you have no idea how many floors up they are. That's not at all like what this is.
This is for his
very,
age.
very manageable for preschool age. And we saw lots of elementary and even adults there that were all having fun, though.
Oh, for sure. Teenagers even. We were kind of surprised. Well, one thing I want to say, just in this is very basic, but I knew it was called the Cook Museum. However, I didn't realize who it was named for.
I didn't either.
Until we were at the very end.
Yeah.
And Details. They have like the portrait of the family. So John Cook Sr. And his wife are who opened this museum, and they're better known as Looky, Looky, Looky. Here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
We've seen that commercial a few times.
Just a few. So yeah, he obviously had a fascination with critters and insects when critters. That's how he was making his money. So he opened in 1968. He opened just a little insect collection to the public that was just by appointment only.
That's funny.
And he primarily used it for employee training for Cook's Pest Control.
Oh, makes sense.
It later grew into a wide array of mounted wildlife and just touring throughout Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia. Well, in 1980, they added a lot more rocks and minerals, fossils, coral, all different kinds of things were added to the collection. Migratory birds that were protected, and they opened this, began the idea of this full-blown museum.
Yeah.
So, from its opening in 1980 until its closing in 2016, the museum welcomed more than 750,000 visitors. That original one. And as meaningful as the museum had been for decades, the Cook family decided it was time to reinvent the museum as an even more exciting and educational experience.
Wow.
So, this museum that we experienced just opened in June of 2019.
I didn't know that.
So it's really not that old.
Well, it felt fresh and new to me. So you can tell that I didn't know how new it was.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that new, but yeah it was just, I had a great experience.
And as we've said before, awesome museum store. And a museum store is a great place to shop for interesting, like sort of educational gifts for different aged kids. But this particular museum store had great shopping for anything. They had jewelry and handbags, and
I know I'm actually snickering because you have on your necklace I got you at the Imam Carter Museum. It looks so good on you.
Thank you.
But you can find such unique looking things, I think, at these museum stores. Yeah, they had jewelry. They had a lamp I was interested in. I'm like, I can't buy a lamp right now.
You cannot leave here with a lamp. Maybe a stuffed animal for the little guy, but yeah. Well, you did leave with other things for your home decor because they had good sales on
sale price.
Things. Yeah.
Anyhow, museum stores are where it's at for unique items.
Yes. Well, we just did a little driving around. Just wanted to, sort of see the lay of the land, and it was a really fun little visit. And I would say an hour and a half was a good time for us to have spent in the museum.
Yeah.
But you could extend it a little longer if you're reading every placard.
For sure.
And I would say anything less than an hour and a half, you're probably cruising.
One thing, this is funny that I noticed this, but I saw more than one person leaving with food that had literally come just for food.
They had
Did you
a
notice
good
that?
restaurant.
And so I thought that was just funny because I'm like, people actually come here to get food at this restaurant.
Well, they
that
had,
aren't
like,
going to the museum.
Acai bowls and like
Yeah,
all
it
these
was real
interesting.
healthy. It looked
yeah.
real healthy. I forget what it's called, but
Yeah.
it looked like it was a lot of healthy food choices. So if
true.
Big Bob Gibson barbecue is not your thing, I get it. Get your acai bowl at the museum.
All right, so we got back on the road, and just 6 miles north, we were at Buc-ee's in Athens, Alabama. If you don't know what Buc-ee's is, it's a Texas-born, I almost said rest area. Because
I'm waiting to hear how you describe it because I have my own way to
it
describe
actually feels like the landmass that a rest area takes on, because it is huge. Now, we actually saw one of these when we were headed down to Orange Beach, Alabama, a couple of
Yes.
years ago. We'd never heard of Buc-ee's. We did not have a need for gas at that moment, so we didn't stop. But it caught the
size of it
largeness.
and the number of billboards you see leading up to it. Like, it was
Yeah.
so cute because Jacob was like, there's a beaver billboard.
That's right.
There's the beaver billboard.
Yeah. But that one in Orange Beach, we had been on back roads.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have billboard. We just all of a sudden were like, what is that monstrosity of, 50 pumps? And I'm not exaggerating. I should have gone to look to see what the
How
last pump
many?
number was. There is a real strict rule, and I'm not sure all the reasons behind this, but it's actually closed off to semi trucks. And so you're going to see a ton of just families
Yeah.
that are stopped there. So not any sort of large trucking. But the restrooms are supposedly like
Always
the
clean.
cleanest you'll find, and they are.
That's what I will say is that I was shocked by how clean everything was.
Yes. But imagine you're walking into a really lively Walmart
So I said, to
That
me,
has-
it was Walmart meets Disney World.
that has some Hobby Lobby stuff in there too, right?
And Hobby Lobby.
yeah.
So that's not my favorite. Like, none of those are my favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that, like, I'm going to frequent Buc-ee's, but I get it. Like, I do get,
You got to stop and
gotta
see something like
stop.
this.
and I'm so glad that I experienced it. And
The brisket sandwich is something that they're known for, and I did try that once when the only other instance I've stopped, and it was good. You can try really anything in there. Like, they've got a jerky bar, so you can
I've
try
never
any
seen
of those.
so much jerky. They have all the usual suspects of granolas and
Yeah.
different candies and
Yeah.
ices and things, chips that you would find in any
Yes.
store. But they also have like toy section
Oh, yeah.
and even lots of toys with the Bucky beaver on it.
Bucky beavers everywhere. You can get like a straw that has like the mouth of a
beaver. Like, so it looks like a beaver
Looks
as
like-
you're drinking
yeah.
it. We saw
costumes.
3 or 4 kids from a
Yes.
family that all had the costume.
full zip
Y'all.
up beavers. Yeah.
I was like, well,
There was a lot
how much
of
did they spend in there? They had bags of food.
bags. Yeah.
And
And
they're all in
nothing's like
costume
marked
now.
down. It's not Walmart prices.
Right.
It's like, feels Walmart-esque, but it's not rollback prices. Which is why, I guess, on the now hiring sign out front, I guess that's why they're able to pay a general manager that works 30 to 50 hours a week between $150,000 to $225,000 a year.
I'm still not sure I believe it.
I just stood there staring at it,
Just not sure I believe it.
and also, as I mentioned earlier, in an affordable housing market. So if you go work at the
If you're
Buc-ee's
in transition and you want to go work at Bucky's in Athens and live in Decatur,
in a mansion
I mean,
in River City, we've got a plan for you. So
and you can get a membership to the Cook Museum.
That's right,
If
yeah.
that's the case, and it'll be even cheaper.
well, at that point, you're a gold sponsor, I'm sure,
that's
with
true.
your own bench outside. So anyway, really fun day.
It was
highly
so fun.
recommend.
Jacob loved every minute of it.
Yes, he did. He is a science lover. So if you've got a science or animal lover in your household or in your community, they would really enjoy this.
And I guess in saying it was super interactive, this is a given, but I thought it was even they had thought through everything with like size of child.
Good
where they
point.
could stand up on things and really look well.
Yes.
No matter their height.
And did you see he scooted a little step stool at one point?
Yeah.
Because
they were right there. So,
yeah, that was really sweet.
It was really well thought through. Good museum.
For the little ones. Well, sis, thanks for bringing the museum in Decatur onto our radar for us to share with our listener friends here. If you would like to know where to connect with us and find us online or ways to support us, those links will be in the show notes. Y'all have a good week. Peace be with y'all.